The night shift question. The hospital corridor was quiet at 3 in the morning. The fluorescent lights hummed softly overhead, casting a gentle glow on the polished floors. Jaque Martinez pushed his cleaning cart slowly down the hallway, the wheels squeaking slightly with each rotation. He had been working the night shift as a janitor at St. Mary's Hospital for almost 2 years now, putting himself through nursing school one semester at a time. He didn't mind the work. In fact, he found something peaceful about these late hours when the hospital settled into its nighttime rhythm. The frantic energy of the day gave way to something quieter, more contemplative. It was during these hours that he could think about his future, about the day when he would wear scrubs not as a janitor, but as a nurse. Jaque paused near the staff break room, wiping down the windows that overlooked the city. The lights of downtown twinkled in the distance, creating a beautiful backdrop against the dark sky. He was so focused on his task that he almost didn't notice her sitting there. Emma Richardson sat in one of the chairs by the window, still wearing her blue scrubs, her blonde hair pulled back in a neat bun. She had a cup of coffee on the small table beside her, but she wasn't drinking it. She was just staring out at the city, her profile illuminated by the soft glow of the city lights. Jaque had seen her around the hospital many times before. She worked in the pediatric wing, and everyone knew her as the kind nurse who always had a smile for patients and staff alike. She never treated him differently because he was a janitor. She always said hello, always asked how his classes were going. That simple kindness meant more to him than she probably knew. Long shift? Jaque asked quietly, not wanting to startle her. Emma turned and smiled when she saw him. Hey, Jack. Yeah, it's been one of those nights. Nothing but, used, a lot. You know how it is. Em nodded, understanding completely. Mind if I clean in here? You can come back later if you want some quiet time. No, please, come in, I could use the company, actually. She gestured to the empty chair across from her. Jaque hesitated for a moment, then carefully parked his cart outside the door and walked in. He sat down slowly, aware of his worn work boots and the faint smell of cleaning supplies that always seemed to cling to his clothes. Emma didn't seem to notice or care. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, both looking out at the city. Jake took a deep breath, gathering his courage. He had been thinking about this for weeks now, ever since he had seen the flyer in the student lounge. Emma, he began, his voice a little uncertain. Can I ask you something? She turned to face him, her expression open and warm. Of course. There's this formal dance that my nursing school is hosting next month. It's kind of a big deal, all the students go, and some of the professors, and it's supposed to be this nice night where we can forget about exams and clinicals for a while. He paused, rubbing the back of his neck nervously. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to go with me? The words hung in the air between them. Jaque felt his heart pounding in his chest. He knew it was a long shot. She was a nurse, someone with a real career, and he was just a janitor trying to scrape by. But there was something about Emma that made him want to try, to take a chance. Emma's eyes widened slightly, and for a moment, Jake couldn't read her expression. Then, slowly, a smile spread across her face. Jake, they actually really like that. Really? He couldn't keep the surprise and relief out of his voice. Really, she confirmed, her smile growing warmer. That sounds wonderful. They talked for a while longer that night, about school and work and small, ordinary things that somehow felt important. When Jake finally returned to his cleaning cart, he felt like he was floating. Emma had said yes. She had actually said yes. Over the next few weeks, Jake saw Emma more frequently during his shifts. They would stop and chat when their paths crossed, and each conversation made him more certain that asking her to the dance had been the right decision. She never made him feel less than, never seemed bothered by the difference in their positions at the hospital. What Jake didn't know, what Emma had never told anyone at the hospital, was that her last name, Richardson, carried significant weight in the city. Her father, Robert Richardson, was the CEO of Richardson Medical Corporation, which owned not just St. Mary's Hospital, but a chain of medical facilities across 3 states. Emma could have worked anywhere, could have had any position she wanted handed to her. Instead, she had chosen to work as a regular pediatric nurse, wanting to earn her place through her own skills and dedication. She had kept her background quiet, introducing herself simply as Emma, never mentioning her family's wealth or influence. She drove a modest car, lived in a regular apartment, and worked the same long hours as everyone else. It was important to her to be seen for who she was, not for her family's name. The night of the dance arrived faster than Jake expected. He had rented a simple black suit, the best he could afford, and borrowed his roommate's car when he arrived at Emma's apartment building. His hands were shaking slightly as he knocked on her door. Emma opened the door, and Jake's breath caught in his throat. She wore an elegant navy blue dress that brought out the color of her eyes, her hair styled in soft waves around her shoulders. She looked absolutely beautiful. "You look amazing," Jake managed to say. "Thank you," Emma replied, blushing slightly. "You look very handsome yourself." The dance was held at a hotel ballroom downtown. As they walked in together, Jake felt a mixture of pride and nervousness. He spotted some of his classmates, who waved and smiled approvingly. The room was decorated with soft lights and flowers, and music played from a small band in the corner. They danced, talked, and laughed throughout the evening. Hake introduced Emma to his classmates and professors, and she charmed everyone she met. She asked thoughtful questions about their studies, shared stories from her own nursing experiences, and made Jake feel like the luckiest person in the room. Late in the evening, as they swayed slowly to a quiet song, Emma looked up at Jake. "Thank you for inviting me tonight," she said softly. "I haven't had this much fun in a long time." "Thank you for saying yes," Jake replied. "I know we come from different places, but—" "Jake," Emma interrupted gently. "I need to tell you something." She explained then, quietly and honestly, about her family, about her father's position, about why she had chosen to keep it private. Hake listened, his expression shifting from surprise to understanding. "I wanted you to know," Emma continued, "because I don't want there to be any secrets between us. And I wanted you to know that when I said yes to coming here with you, it had nothing to do with your job or my background. It was because you're kind, hardworking, and you make me smile. That's what matters." Hake was quiet for a moment, processing this information. Then he smiled, pulling her a little closer as they continued to dance. "You're right," he said. "That is what matters. Thank you for trusting me with this." As the music played on and the lights glowed softly around them, Jake realized that sometimes the best things in life come when you have the courage to ask a simple question. And sometimes, the person who says yes is exactly who they appear to be, kind, genuine, and real, regardless of what their name might mean to the world outside. The night ended with a promise of more evenings together, of getting to know each other beyond the hospital corridors and late-night conversations. And for both of them, that was more than enough.